Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my review of Lost in Space Season 3. Now, I have reviewed each of the seasons of Lost in Space, and, you know, I've enjoyed them. I have enjoyed them. Season 2, not so much as Season 1, but it was still an enjoyable season. Season 3, I tell you what, good. Very good. I really enjoyed this season. I think actually the child actors came into their own. I think especially the actor of Maxwell Jenkins who plays Will Robinson. He has definitely improved as an actor. To someone which I would say actually has, you know, a relatively bright future. He can act. He can convey emotion. Strong emotion. I think Mina Sundwell. I think she was really, really good. Taylor Russell plays Judy Robinson, and I think unfortunately wasn't able to display as much range as possible. It's not her fault, it's her character. Her character is quite stern and doesn't really show a lot of range. Everyone else, good. Everyone else was good. Story-wise, does it wrap up all the loose ends? Does it look good? You know, is it a good story? I mean, I'd say yeah. You know, I had a really good time with this. I think I was only sad by the fact that there was only bloody 8 episodes. You know, 8 episodes long. I remember seasons of there being 20, 24 episodes a season. And this was only 8. You know, that's not even Netflix's standard MO when it comes to episode length. Normally they're, you know, between 10 to 14. Or, you know, 12 to 14. But what we're seeing time and time again is the sort of season episode length going down, and I believe this is part of budgetary inflation. You know, the budgets are going so big that they have to keep the seasons down, see how each season does, and then accrue the budget and financing for the next season. I'm assuming anyway, but you know, I digress. Let's get to the actual meat of the review and what I think about it. And guys, You'll note that there's no video footage. Netflix are super hot on this. They don't allow any footage. They will copyright claim, and then it's done. And I'm not risking the channel for that. So it's not worth it for me. It'll just be images. Sorry. And you don't want to look at my big dumb face whilst I'm talking about this. So does it wrap everything up nicely? Like narrative-wise, is this a good season? Yes. This is this to me is a return to Star Trek. You know, like it's Star Trek, but not being Star Trek. And I think that's probably the best way to describe it. It's earnest. There's good moral messages about trust, hope, family, believing in people, you know, wishing the best from people. But, you know, taking note of potential, you know, naiveties and evil doing as well along the way. It's a happy ending. To me, it was a happy ending, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the earnest nature of this show. I always have done, and, you know, with all the wealth of gritty, dark stuff which is out there, it's nice to have something earnest. You know, it's nice to appreciate the earnest nature of this show. The effects, I think they actually upped the effects, because I remember in the first season, I was like, God damn, the effects were amazing. That robot looked amazing. And then I think I remember saying something in my Season 2 review about the effects just dropping somewhat. I don't know why, I can't remember, but I remember specifically the effects had dipped a little bit. But the effects in this season was just quality throughout. And it was an effects-heavy season as well. You know, there's motion, there's a lot of scenes where there's the carts running around, the little car things on planets, and you know they're chasing shockwaves, and there's a planet blown in half. There's so many things which, you know, are really effects-heavy. There's people floating through space. There's giant worms eating spaceships. Like, it's mental. But it all looked good. And you know, it all carried itself quite nicely. The robots, yeah, good. We see a bit of their origin. I mean, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But we see a bit of their origin. Is that, you know, is that satisfying? Yeah, actually. Does it leave me wanting more? Yeah, Absolutely, but that's also why it's satisfying. I don't want to know their origin. I don't want to know exactly who created them. I don't want to know anything. I mean, I do want to, but I also don't want to. You know, I want to know those things, but what gets told to me, ultimately, if they were to reveal it all, would never be as satisfying as what's in my brain. So it's nice that they just tease this little bits of information out here and there. There was a weird little love triangle with one of the children, not an actual love triangle, just calm down. Wasn't no bloody threesomes or anything like that. Which, you know, some of the teen angst was fine, but it wasn't played up too much, so I didn't hate it too much. It's just a little side narrative to give some of the characters some growth here and there, and it worked fine. Everyone's characterization and their own subplots worked nicely. Obviously, it's Will Robinson's show, you know, primarily, and he was a standout, and I think it must have been dumb luck in choosing that actor. You know, genuinely, it's just dumb luck. And that kid grew huge between seasons, massively between seasons. And it's funny because they hang a lantern on it, you know, they write it into the show. And I think they did really well in that as well. As a result of that, I think they did, you know, genuinely really, really well. Technically, though, let's talk technical. I said the special effects were great. They were. Whoever shot this definitely took a leaf out of J.J. Abrams' new Star Trek book. There was a lot of lens flares, unnecessary lens flares, and yes, it can get quite off-putting. But on a whole, it was really good. The sound design was fantastic. The soundscapes that they're using for the robots, the new planets, the foliage, you know, the flora and fauna, it all worked really well. This is a great show. Yes, I think some people potentially won't like it. Maybe they'll want something more hard-hitting, more gritty, more real. Whatever, it's fine. But if you appreciate a bit of earnest sci-fi, family-friendly sci-fi, like the good old days of Star Trek The Next Generation, or just generally Star Trek, I think you'll find this to be very, very enjoyable. And a very good companion piece to Star Trek. Not, you know, not the new Star Trek, because, I mean, that's a trash fire. But for those that want Star Trek and sadly don't get Star Trek anymore, I think you guys will like this. So, you know, this definitely gets my seal of approval. I would recommend it. If you have seen it, let me know down below. If you're new here, consider hitting subscribe. If not, don't worry about it. It's fine. I don't care either way. Give the video a like. You can dislike it. They've removed the dislike. So again, who cares anymore? It is what it is. YouTube sucks. Donkey dong. Follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at MrAgeReviews. Thank you so much. Take care.